Welcome back everybody, Matt the Man here, hope you're doing well. So this week we heard about some interesting news in the world of the movie news, as we call it. Number one, that they're finally working on a Jetsons live action movie. Now, number one, I cannot believe they never made a Jetsons movie. That is still mind-boggling to me. They made the Flintstones a few times. Most notably the 1994 movie with John Goodman, Elizabeth Perkins, Rick Moranis, Rosie O'Donnell, Halle Berry, and I like that movie. That's a fun movie. That is a fun movie. They made another Flintstones a couple years later with a whole new cast with Mark Addy playing Fred Flintstone. Mark Addy went on to be in Game of Thrones and Jack Frost. But they've never made a Jetsons movie. And the Flintstones and the Jetsons were the shows I would watch in the mornings, Saturday morning cartoons. It would be either the Jetsons, then the Flintstones, or the Flintstones and the Jetsons. And it is so baffling to me that no one has made a Jetsons live action movie. It's also baffling to me that they've never made a Thundercats movie. Thundercats! Whoa! Where's Lionel? Smurf? Whatever it is. But apparently they're finally making a Jetsons movie. Now, I don't know if this has to do with the recent Fantastic Four movie that was set in the 60s that definitely had a Jetsons vibe to it, both in the look of the architecture of the city, the robot they had, Herbie, and just the look and the clothing and everything. But it looked like they're, I don't know what studio it is, maybe Universal, I don't know. But they're finally moving forward with the Jetsons live action movie. Now, this is in very early development. They don't even have a script yet. But they're looking at Colin Trevorrow to direct. He is obviously known for movies like Safety Not Guaranteed, The Book of Henry, and of course, Jurassic World and Jurassic World Dominion. I like Jurassic World, the first one. The less we say about Dominion, the better. But, so I'm like, okay, I like what he did with Safety Not Guaranteed. I like the first Jurassic World. He can do big budget or small budget, so that's good. But the bigger good and a head scratcher, if you will, is that they're looking at Jim Carrey to play George Jetson. Now, when I think of George Jetson, I do not think Jim Carrey. Now, don't get me wrong, my people. I am a huge fan of Jim Carrey. I don't know how you grew up in the 90s and didn't love Jim Carrey. Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, Liar Liar, Batman Forever, The Mask, Me, Myself, and Irene, The Grinch. I mean, come on. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. I mean, Jim Carrey was my 90s and early 2000s. And then he kind of stopped doing comedy and everything like that. And then he had a resurgence when he came back with Sonic the Hedgehog as Mr. Robotnik. And he brought back that 90s Jim Carrey. That 90s Jim Carrey I grew up on. And I'm like, come with me, my animal friends. And now they're looking at Jim Carrey. And like I said, the Grinch, him as the Grinch was literally the perfect casting. Now, let's be honest with ourselves. I'm sure when they announced that Jim Carrey was playing the Grinch, now I was a little fucker back then. I wasn't looking up movies news like I do now. Even though I was still in the early, I wasn't even doing movie stuff when the Grinch movie came out. So I don't know what the talk of the town was when they said Jim Carrey is playing the Grinch. Because in my mind, I go, even at that time, I would have been like, that's a head scratcher. But then you watch the Grinch and you go, oh, that's perfect casting. So when you think of George Jetson, you think of like a family man and more serious guy, and all that. You don't think of Roy to Christmas, You don't think of Ace Ventura. You don't think of his character in Liar Liar. You don't think like that. Me, Myself, and Irene. You don't think Jim Carrey, George Jetson. No. But the inner 90s child in me is going, if we can get more of Jim Carrey, bring it on. Bring it on. More Jim Carrey? Why not? He's been saying he's going to retire for like 4 or 5 years now. I don't think he's retiring. Hey, Jimbo, you want to do a sequel to a movie? Do another Me, Myself, and Irene. That would be hilarious. Heck, do another Ace Ventura. Hey, if you can find a way to do another Grinch movie in live action, and you come back as the Grinch, or The Mask, I would love to see another Mask movie. Somebody stop me. But yeah, I'm very curious, and they do go with Jim Carrey. Who's the rest of the family? Who's going to round out the rest of the family of the Jetsons? That's going to be very interesting. Well, let me know in the comments below. Are you looking forward to a Jetsons live-action movie? I am still shocked they've never done this before. Mind-blowing to me. How you had the Flintstones and the Jetsons out at the same time. Both very popular. And you made a Flintstones movie. You made 2 of them. But you've never made a Jetsons film. But hey, we still don't we also don't have Thundercats. With the technology we have today, like Avatar, where's my Thundercats? Thundercats, whoa! But let me know in the comments below, do you want to see a Jetsons film, live action? Do you think Jim Carrey is the right guy to play George Jetson? What do you think of Colin Trevorrow directing? And once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, Matt the Matt.